Now, to cap off the show, Mortal Kombat. Yes, Mortal Kombat, the adaptation of the video game series, finally hit theaters. And Darius, would you like to just say exactly what this movie's about? It's kind of simple, but you're more into this than I am, so I feel like you should.
Tournament fighting, that's the movie. I mean, essentially, it follows the main character, Cole Young, who is a brand new addition to the Mortal Kombat franchise, and his I guess how he's going to get into the Mortal Kombat world and how he needs to basically all these Earth realm, all these people of Earth have to fight in a tournament to keep it safe from other outerworldly leaders and people who want to take over Earth realm. That's essentially Mortal Kombat in a gist, just to keep it short and simple. And this movie, yeah, let's just jump right into the movie.
Okay, so, all right, so Brendan, there's a non-spoiler review, so Brendan, in non-spoiler fashion, what exactly did you think of Mortal Kombat?
I thought it was very bland. I thought it was very formulaic. The cinematography was well done. The cast was, they did well with the script with what they had. Some characters were trying a little harder than others. And I did not like Cole Young. I'm just going to say it. Sonya Blade was, she was an exposition walking machine.
Yep.
Cole Young had no enthusiasm. He had no swagger to him at all. He felt very shoehorned. The movie felt cut apart, torn to pieces. Fatalities were cool. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, honestly, I gotta agree with like a lot of what you said.
Dang.
He didn't. Cole Young didn't get like the best. He didn't get like the best role. He doesn't really win anything for without going into too much. He doesn't really win anything for himself, and I feel like they were setting him up to do that sort of thing, and he doesn't. And I don't want to give that away, but overall, like I had a blast watching this movie. It was very entertaining. The fight sequences were awesome, which again, of course, is like the main reason you go to see a movie like this. Well, even though, again, you should go for the story too, and I feel like narrative, it was fine for what it was. It still somewhat worked. I still felt more of an effort with this movie to make it feel at least somewhat cinematic, again, with the narrative, with how certain shots, like particularly landscape shots, like actually, worked or whatnot. It actually looked really nice. So I felt some kind of effort there. But Darius, what did you think? Because I know you're dying to just
Yeah, I am dying.
defense
Like,
about this one.
for people that know, yet again, Mortal Kombat is one of my favorite fighting game franchises of all time. And Scorpion is also one of my favorite video game characters of all time as well. So when I went into this theater and to see this movie, I was like, I expect awesome fight sequences, the fatalities, the gore, all of that, and a meh, if not subpar story and narrative. And I got exactly that. And the thing is that it's sad. And the thing is, I didn't want to be right about that. That's the thing. Mm-hmm. Like, Cole Young as a character and what Greg Russo and the director were trying to go for him did not work at all. I did not like this character. Every time he was on screen, I don't know if you could tell, Joe, when I was next to you, I was just like, oh boy, not him. No, I don't, like, let's move past him, please. I don't want to see this guy.
Like, he didn't give a shit. He didn't care. You know what I mean?
And he literally said he didn't care in the movie. I mean, overall, I'll just say this. I had a fun time. I was entertained. I laughed, definitely. But just as, and there are certain things, even in the lore, that I was not happy about at all, and I think it took the uniqueness of certain characters that make them who they are completely out, and I wasn't a fan of. Here are the characters I did like. Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Liu Kang, and Kano to a certain degree.
Oh, Kano,
Sonya,
oh my god, he was hysterical. Fucking
Kano carried
Kano.
that movie. Kano carried that movie.
He really did.
Yeah.
He carried that movie. Oh, man. And to be honest, there was a lot for him to carry, too, if you really think about it. Like, that entertainment value that I was saying before, like, how entertaining this movie was, that was about, like, 75% because of him.
Yeah, like, they definitely added a lot of comedic elements, and again, like, I enjoyed this movie. I don't want to say that I didn't like this movie at all, or I didn't love it or hate it. I enjoyed it. I had a fun time. It's just a lot of narrative choices and even creative differences they made, I don't think really represent Mortal Kombat to its full extent of what it could have been. And that's the unfortunate thing as a fan and even as someone who wants to write these adaptations of video games, and it looks like these writers still don't get it just yet. I don't think it's... and of course, people are probably going to ask me, okay, is this up in your best video game adaptations? No, I don't think it is. It's a decent one. Again, there are certain creative differences that they made that hindered it to be a really solid adaptation. I still think Sonic and Detective Pikachu are up there. But as far as
I agree.
Yeah, but like Mortal Kombat, like I said, had a fun time. I thought it was entertaining. Cole Young as a character and even acting wise, he just didn't do it for me. They should have focused more in trying to tell a cohesive narrative and instead of trying to sequel bait people and franchise it up, because you can do that when you have a strong movie. Obviously, the audience score right now is like at 88, so people are enjoying it. Question is, is the sequel going to get greenlit?
Yeah. And now, just out of curiosity, because I'm coming from the point of Darius, you're obviously a huge Mortal Kombat fan. I've never played any of the games, and I'm still stunned at like how great of a time I had watching this, despite the movie's flaws and despite the fact that I never played any of the games before. Brendan, were you a Mortal Kombat fan? Did you play the games?
Oh yeah, I played them all. I love this franchise. I was watching the game and stuff. I was watching the movie, sorry, and I was sitting there when Liu Kang was fighting Cabal, and I was like, okay, down over A, he's about to do a fireball.
Yeah, I was
Sub-Zero,
thinking the same thing.
Sub-Zero's doing an ice hammer right now, down over X, down, over, up, over, and then I'm just like fatalities, and then there's, I loved it, I did, but then you see, it's cheesy, it literally something went wrong with it. It didn't feel right. Yeah. I didn't like Cole. The guy just had no charisma, like I said. Scorpion, oh my God, it just so good. So good. But
again, you were talking about how Scorpion was great. I definitely agree. I think Hiroyuki Sanada is a great, perfect casting choice for that character. And the one character, I know a lot of people have said Kano is a standout. To me, it was Sub-Zero. Yep. Joe Taslim just did great such an excellent... every time he was either on screen or they hinted at him coming in, I actually got chills down my body because I was like, I know it's about to get good.
Yeah.
I was like, it's about to get good.
Yeah, based on the little I know about Sub-Zero going into this, they did well with him, I have to say. They really did.
They did a good job with Sub-Zero.
So now, like I said, the fight sequences were terrific. Those were really well done. But I guess on another technical front, too, the visual effects. I'm sorry, are we in 2021 or 1995? Is it just me? I mean, certain things looked a bit underdone, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Good world.
Visual... it's the first one all over again. I mean, certain visual effects definitely looked cool. It definitely felt like they were going for that video game-esque style and look. But at the same time, certain things definitely felt unfinished or just didn't look right. And I guess it's a mixture of that as well as some of the animation towards some of the aspects of the visual effects. But I actually liked some of the visual effects. I thought it was cool to see certain iconic things in the moment. But they definitely said they wanted to use more practical effects than visual. So I can see where the money went.
That's a fucking lie. That's a fucking lie. That's a lie.
They definitely should have went more practical.
Yeah, even if that's what they said that they were going to do, they didn't. They clearly did not do that. That's a lie. Yeah. Now, is it just me too? As far as the climax, it didn't feel like a climax. It felt like a rising. No. It felt like something that you get on the way to the climax. It felt like a rising action. Is it just me?
Oh, I felt that way. It
ended on a rising action for sure. It felt like that.
Okay, because it's weird because it felt like a rising action, and then like they're wrapping things up. I'm like, wait, are they wrapping things up? That was the finale. Wait, what? What's happening?
Yeah, same.
Like,
I felt
are we
that too.
there
I
yet?
was like, oh, come on.
It had a terrible pacing. The beginning of it was great with everything that happened. Then you get to the second act with Cole, and then just the exposition starts to happen. Then other characters start to show up, and I'm like, no, this is too fast. I can't take this all in at once. This would have worked so much better as an HBO Max show.
I was thinking the same thing.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
like the pacing definitely felt off. For me, honestly, the strongest point of the movie is really the beginning. I thought that was so well done, but then everything else sort of fell flat. And this is where it's like, I love Scorpion, but they didn't use him a lot. Like, come on. And you're trying to make him... Joe, we're going to have to add a spoiler section. I need to talk about some things.
Okay, so you know what? Let's say, you know what? Okay. Spoiler. Yeah, spoiler comes down to like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fire away.
How can you tell me the main character Cole is special and you're telling me he's a descendant of the Hanzo Hasashi clan? No! He has no irrelevance! Except for that! That is it! And even that didn't sell me. Okay.
I feel like they kind of did that though. Like when you saw his boxing gloves, they were yellow. So I was like, oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. They were the exact same tint as Scorpion. And then when he's looking in the mirror and he sees Scorpion's vengeance, and I was like, oh god, here we go. They're really doing this MacGuffin where Raiden's gonna give him the kunai. I was like, come on, don't do this. Don't go this path. The movie had no direction. They didn't know what they were doing.
Summon. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I was saying that to myself.
And like, here's the thing too. Like, as far as like, Cole Young being like the descendant of Scorpion. I'm sorry. Did no one else see that coming from the beginning?
Oh, I saw that. I saw that.
Yeah, I just didn't want it to be true.
Like, here's the thing. Again, this comes from someone. I didn't play any of the games. I don't know a damn thing. Because it was just so obvious from the beginning.
The thing is, he doesn't have descendants.
They're not like
Scorpion
this. They actually have a story. They're cohesive. No, he doesn't.
He doesn't. Like, and this is where the creative differences they made.
I mean, like, here's the thing. Overall... Oh.
What?
I think they really hindered it, to be honest.
Yeah, it did. Like, one of the differences, and this is where I want to talk about spoilers.
Okay.
Yeah, you're still here. Oh, okay. Yeah, and, like, one of the creative differences I think they made that really hindered was the whole mention of the Arcana. And because that just... It took away from some of the uniqueness. And I don't know about you, Brendan, but I don't recall Arcana in Mortal Kombat at all. That is so new. And that I think... Yeah. That I'm just like, okay, you're telling me that Sonya Blade gets her iconic sonic pulse things from a Mortal Kombat symbol. I'm sorry. I know that, and even that to a certain extent was not fully fleshed out, because you're like, okay, you're telling people that this Mortal Kombat system, this token essentially gives people also hidden abilities, and they need to unlock it. Right? What about Scorpion? You clearly see his. Sub-Zero should have gotten a second one. Like, again, it felt very unfinished, that it just didn't feel believable. Even Jax, to a certain extent, his Arcana are apparently metal arms. These differences don't help. You could have easily done, hey, he lost his arms, he went back to the Special Forces. Maybe Sonya Blade, for example, is like, you know what? Let's weaponize him, give him metal arms instead. And now you have a good inner conflict with Jax that, like, oh, you made me into a monster. I didn't want, like, again, I have so many ideas, but still. It's like they just introduced this cheesy element that didn't help and really took away some of the specialty of these characters that make them unique from the lore that we all know and love.
Hot take. It felt very Final Fantasy 13. when the team got the lassies on their hands and they had to go save the world and the whole destiny thing. And I just want to know, why are movies doing this path of going, oh, a big catastrophe's coming and you have to assemble heroes? I'm sorry, Mortal Kombat is not Avengers. And I love how Greg Russo actually says that. We're just going to do what Marvel did. That's what we're going to... No, that's not what Mortal Kombat is. That? Yes, there's a quote that I guess somebody from the Mortal Kombat staff wrote that.
Okay, I want a sequel. I want to see what they go, but get rid of Greg Russo. I'm sorry. Get rid of that writer. Bring someone else.
He's not related to Joe and Anthony by any chance, is he?
No.
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 If so, oof.
So overall, like, I just want to ask a question. I think I know your guys' answer. Like, obviously, the most prominent and well-received video game adaptations so far seem to be Detective Pikachu and Sonic the Hedgehog. How do you guys feel Mortal Kombat stands in comparison to those two films?
In an entertainment value, I think it's there. I could as in the car, Joe. As we were coming back, I want to see it again. I had fun, like I said.
Yeah,
I had fun
same.
with it. But as far as an adaptation point of view, I don't even think it's number 3 or 4.
Wow,
it's about I say about 9. It's on like 9th on my list. I really didn't like this film. I sat there entirely bored during the exposition portions of it. It really slowed down at parts that it should have been speeding up. The lore was... It was kind of like a child's version of Mortal Kombat. It was the most PG film I've ever seen under R-rated skin.
That's interesting. Yeah, because like overall, I think Detective Pikachu and Sonic the Hedgehog as films are definitely stronger. Yeah, Darius, I agree with you. Like entertainment-wise, like it's definitely there. But as far as like an actual film itself, like it doesn't stand with the other two. Again, not saying that Detective Pikachu and Sonic the Hedgehog are cinematic masterpieces himself. I mean, especially with all the Olive Garden product placements in Sonic the Hedgehog. But, you know, it's for what it was, for the time that I spent, it was worth it. And as far as the money that was spent, shout out to Mark Delsoin. But yeah, no, like, even though the movie definitely has its flaws, it was better than I thought it was going to be. I'm going to be honest, it was better than it had any business being, if I'm being honest. Like I said, there were certain things that it didn't work well, like overall narrative. Even though there were certain things that could have been sharpened up a bit, like it was still competent. Like I was expecting something completely incompetent from like a narrative point of view, and honestly, I didn't get that. I still got better than that. Acting overall wasn't terrible. It was there. You know, they didn't feel like they were phoning it in, but they weren't standing out either. But. Yeah, and again, like
I said, the main
this is all overshadowed by the fact. The overall, I feel like the movie's flaws, while they can be glaring at times, they're all overshadowed just by like how entertaining this movie was overall. And again, I think that's thanks in part to not only Kano, but of course like the action sequences as well. Just those two alone are enough to see the movie, in my opinion.
I did not like the music.
It's interesting you say that. I like the music. I heard like little hints of like 90s video games and like the score for the film. I actually like that. So it's interesting that you say that. It's funny.
Again, this goes into I guess the writer and director knowing what type of film they wanted to make, and they delivered on the type of film they wanted to make. For certain Mortal Kombat fans, they may not be happy about it. They may not have wanted a Mortal Kombat movie that maybe took itself a bit more seriously. And, Brendan, we talked a bit over on Twitter of how, like, they could have made Liu Kang the main protagonist, as he should have been, and done a almost Shaolin Monks, combination in Mortal Kombat and really get to see that brotherhood between, Kung Lao and Liu Kang. But we didn't get that. And especially that death, Kung Lao's death, because we are in spoilers right now, so...
yeah, we're in spoilers. Well, you're good.
Yeah, so Kung Lao's death did not really feel as impactful as it should have been. considering these two are like practically like brothers and everything as they established in the movie, you could have had those two main protagonists sequel, then you kill them off and have a bit more weight. Again, I have a bunch of ideas. I just want to. For me, if I had to give it a rated out of 10, it would be probably a 6 or 7.
Honestly, I'd probably say 7.
It's
I'd say 7.
Yeah.
at a 6.8, 7 for me.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
overall, you guys know our opinions. We obviously had a lot of opinions to share as far as like what we thought of Mortal Kombat. Do you guys think that Mortal Kombat stands with other successful video game movies like Detective Pikachu and Sonic the Hedgehog? Do you think it was worth the wait? Does this movie give you hope for other video game movies to come, or did it feel like more of the same with the track record that video game movies have? Leave your thoughts in that comment section there below. And just like that, the show was done. And so I'd like to thank Brendan Rooney. I don't know how I butchered your name just now. Rooney's a pretty easy name to
You're
say.
good, man. You're good.
I'd like to thank Brendan Rooney for coming on to review Mortal Kombat with us. I'd also like to thank Jose Alvarez and Brian Collins for coming on for our first segment where we talked about our most recent filming project, Venge. And just one more time, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and hit the bell to get all notifications on Apple, Spotify, and Google Podcasts, as well as the Podcast Index and YouTube. And those social media profiles in that description there below, they're not there for no reason. You got to like them. You have to follow them, and you have to share them. So, again, until next time, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, everybody, for coming on the show. And just like that, this has been episode 14 of Cinema Unchained.